video. Hopefully it runs relatively smoothly because, you know, I know that sometimes with the internet speed and whatnot, the video can judder a little bit. But even if you can see the basic action figures as I'm going, then you're going to be able to, you know, give your opinions and your thoughts on what's hot, what's not, what we should have got, what we were right to pass by. Because honestly, there's so many gems out there in Mandarake. And I always wonder, where the heck did half of these come from? Because Japan on the regular doesn't import that many action figures and stuff. Your big chain stores, they don't get things like Marvel Legends, but trust me, they find their way over here. And then when they do, eventually, they do the rounds around all the secondhand stores and they find their way to Mandarake. Brett, what are you saying, good brother? $5. Thank you so much, man. Dave, I've got about 12 figures on the way. Iron Man, Retro, X-Men, Zabu, and more. So hyped. Ah, dude, that Zabu wave, whew, you're killing me. Because I kind of decided that, you know what? I don't need to buy new waves anymore, especially with the cost of them over here in Japan. Don't you love the way this store is made up to look like a cave? That's so wicked. I dig that so much. A little Aladdin's Cave of Wonders. One thing that really kind of like, oh, made me want to get back into collecting the full waves was this Zebu line. Because with Cable and, of course, Kazar and Zebu themselves, that whole wave was all killer. Even the Winter Guard lady, who I don't really know, it's okay. She's still a cool looking action figure. And if I was in the UK, I would have just got her to do the review and then, you know, could have sold her on. The circle of toys don't have that benefit over here. Not so easy to sell them. You can sell them to these secondhand places, which I have done in the past. But unfortunately, what am I trying to say? They don't give you much money because obviously they need to sell it on afterwards. It's not like you're selling them to a collector who can, you know, just buy it because they want to have it, you know, as the Lord intended. So I'll always go straight to the same place here in Mandarake. It's towards the back of the second floor where they have all of their Marvel Legends, or more specifically, their 90s collectibles. And Ridge, absolutely, Mandarake is very affordable. I mean, it's not like amazing bargains. Wow, that's a Freddy Krueger only a mother could love right there. Derp, I'll haunt your dreams. So yeah, Mandarake, obviously they need to make a profit, and some things can be, you know, a little expensive, but genuinely it just comes down to luck sometimes. Occasionally you'll find something and you're like, whoa, I ain't paying that. Homie don't play that. But then other times you find a little bit of a bitty bargain. Also, a lot of it depends on the value of the yen, because at the moment the yen is, it's not good. It's not worth much. So therefore, any prices that I see here, I can do the conversion in my head, and it normally works out pretty good. So yeah, at the moment, things are more of a bargain than they've ever been. It's a shame that I get paid. Well, it's not a shame I get paid a per diem. That's quite nice, but it is paid in Japanese yen, so it's not worth as much as it used to be. Back in the good old days, I used to save that up so I could send it home. Whereas now I'm like, you know what? I might as well just spend it on action figures. Got a lot of hot toys here. So hot toys are a good gauge of what the sort of prices are like and how reasonable they are. And they're going for, I'd say the average is about $200, give or take. So it's a sort of an average amount there. Of course, they always ask if I'd like the tax-free option when buying. And I'm like, well, yes, I would, but I'm a stupid resident, so I can't get tax-free. But yeah, that glorious Scarlet Spider, he's 27,000 yen, which equates to about $200, give or take. Got some nice war machines there. Oh, look at these classic old Builder figures. Man, those are going back in time there. Certainly the Titus one. That's the Tiger, isn't it? The Titus. Yeah, I never owned him. And then we got Storm from one of the first waves of, was it Toy Biz? Or was that when Hasbro took over? I'm terrible with my dating of things. I really am. But nonetheless, it's a slightly rougher, older Storm. And Ursa Major, one of the most popular Builder figures from the last few years. People loved the big teddy bear. They really did. But that was just a little sneaky peek of their Marvel section. Oh, yeah, the Solid Snake. Dude, that was not affordable. I can tell you that. 28,000 yen for a Figma Solid Snake. I would love to have a 1/12 Solid Snake. I really, really would, but that's a little bit too expensive. Storm was from Toy Biz X-Men Classic Subline. Take it to the max, dude. Thank you. I was really unsure about that because I thought I'd seen, she looked old, but I thought I'd seen her in a more modern line. When I say modern, I mean like, you know, late 2010s type modern. Okay, now we've got the fun section. Now we've got the Marvel section proper. Got a little Mafex Webman, which is actually a pretty reasonable price. It works out at about $45, but I don't need Webman. That's definitely surplus to requirements. But this, oh my goodness, this could be tempting. Iron Man with the cannon, again, about $50. $50 for classic Iron Man with the huge big cannon that you can mount on his shoulder. That was very tempting. But I kept telling myself, I only need one Iron Man. And I've got the Mezco, so we can walk away. Now, some classic legends. We're still waiting for that Banshee in modern form. That Emma Frost, though, she's had a good upgrade. I was really hoping to find the sensational Spider-Man in with these because he has the same packaging, same sort of line, but no such luck. Then we got the not ultimate, Heroes Reborn Iron Man, which I was hoping we were going to get this year, but it wasn't actually that Iron Man. But you can see with the old price stickers from old stores, you can see the inflation, how the prices have gone up. This figure I was covering just the other day in the greatest Marvel Legends countdown, or the ranking of the years. Can't remember which year this was. Was it 2008? I think it was 2008. Little Adam Warlock there. Yeah, these must be or 2007 maybe. Regardless, these are some classics that we haven't seen since. I mean, we've seen Adam Warlock, but not in that costume, for example. And then the Legendary Heroes line. See, I almost got real excited because going through these shelves, I thought there was almost a whole wave here. Well, I thought there was a whole wave there. So I thought it could be worth it to buy the whole wave and get that pit bath. But actually, they were missing just a couple, so I wasn't too excited. I always hated the really ripped bodies, like on those old Marvel Legends. Although Wonder Man, I thought he looks great with that sort of photon look there. That's actually really cool. Shame about the ball hips, but nonetheless, look at that. The accessory, the comic, the collector card, so much you can get in there. Jules Winfield, I think that Heroes Reborn Iron Man is still coming out. Dude, I hope so, man. Because I'm a big child of the 90s, so I would love to see Heroes return or Heroes Reborn Iron Man. That would be great fun. The Mighty Hercules. See, they look a bit goofy sometimes, but some of these older ones, they're just really cool. They're little things to kind of take a sneak peek look at and just see how things used to be, and also really obscure things like this Legendary Heroes line. I think the only ones that were missing from this Build-A-Figure wave were Witchblade and Judge Dredd. If they had Witchblade and Judge Dredd, oh man, I would have been very tempted, man. I would have been very tempted. Jules Winfield, he was one of the leaks, but I think that was the other Iron Man that came out with the She-Hulk retro wave they just did. I think there was just a little bit of confusion. These Hulks that came from the 2003 movie, like, look at this guy. Big, huge, chunky. It's actually a really good Hulk. So even though the movie was pretty rough. Look at the Hulk dog. I mean, that's just a statue. I don't think there's any articulation on that Hulk dog, but how fun is that? It's a really cool little accessory that you could put with your Hulk. They got some really cool stuff there. Kicking myself for passing on legendary comic heroes when they're on clearance for $5 around 2007. And now a quick shout out to this episode's sponsor, Legendsverse.com. This is a brand new Marvel Legends curation website that honestly, I think it's got all the tools
that every new Marvel Legends fan needs and every old Marvel Legends fan needs. But not just that, they also have sections for other action figure lines such as G.I. Joe, Mafex, and a whole bunch of other ones as well. Now, there are a few different action figure cataloging sites out there. One thing that I really like about this one is that not only do they have comprehensive articles for each figure that's been released throughout the years, but also they've got different sections where you can make and curate your own teams. It helps you categorize and coordinate what figures you still need, which ones you're expecting, and which ones you've ordered for each different subline and group. Because there's also kind of a gallery section where you can post pictures of your displays and whatnot. It's a really fun setup. So I highly recommend, if you're collecting your Marvel Legends or any other lines and you want help curating your display and your collection, keeping track of everything, including your pre-orders as well, that's a nice thing. You got this different pre-order section where you can click a drop-down menu and select where you've pre-ordered it from, whether or not you've paid, when you're expecting it. For someone as scatterbrained as me, that's a real big bonus right there. So yeah, go and check out legendsverse.com. The link is going to be in the description below. And if you're just using the free service, then you get all that good stuff right there. And if you love what they're doing, then you can pay a little one-off fee and then you can get all the extra features as well. I'm very selective as to who I kind of do sponsorship things with, because I don't want to be putting the Model Behavior brand next to something that I'm not confident with. But after talking to the gentleman who runs this website, really good guy, dude, shout out to you, and actually playing around with what you do there, I thought, you know what? Yeah, this gets the boom seal of Model Behavior. So Legends collectors, go check this site out.
Stores couldn't get rid of them back then. Man, if only we'd known, brother. Okay, now we found some X-Men. All right, so I'm feeling like I might be able to satisfy this X-Men vibe. Oof. Yamaguchi Venom. This was the OG one, I think. I think I got like a version 2, but nonetheless, that goes straight back on the shelf. We're not torturing ourselves with that Venom anymore. Iron Patriot. This is one that we're still waiting to get a modern Marvel Legend of, but I think we will do very soon. And then we got the movie Iron Patriot. We got some old Iron Man. This is all from Iron Man Wave 3. Dilute Thief. I have a Legendary Heroes wave for £5 each. Dude, you were the one who got them. Son of a gun. Well, thank you so much for saving those $2 for the super chat. I really appreciate that, man. And also, you got a bagging wave there. The Ironmonger, okay, like he's a little bit small, but still, as a single figure, that's kind of crazy. Huge, big, chunky figure to get in a single package. Gotta love that. And some of these Iron Men, they're great, but a little too small compared to today's. That old that old Emma Frost, though, still looks good. Avalanche, I kind of want him for my Brotherhood, but he's such a crap figure. He's only selling for like $10 there. So really not too much at all. I was lucky to get both waves, Pit and Monkey Man, classic Toy Biz. Yeah, no doubt, dude. No doubt they had some classics in there. Oh, and Webman popping up again. Can't keep a good doppelganger down. Now, these are tempting. Look at that Scorpion. I've got the modern Marvel Legends Scorpion, but look at the details. Look at the rivets. The rivets and the screws and pins. Like, that looks so cool. I would still be tempted. Again with Shocker. I love the modern Shocker, but the old one with the wash, the texture, the details. I love what they've done with this. I'd love a backup Spider-Man display with all these older characters, but that would get expensive. Then the Ghost Rider villain, like one of the least intimidating villains that ever made it into a movie. This Spider-Man, though, he's lovely. That's really, really good. I mean, this was from around, I think, maybe 2002 or something, perhaps. And then look at the size of this. The Thunderbolts Beetle, complete, a huge, chonky boy with those missiles and everything. Amazing. And a couple of Iron Spiders, a variant there. There's a solid color one that's in my hand now, and there was a more translucent one. And a great looking Carnage, too, with the sculpted in symbiote tendrils. Real nice. And then this lizard... You know, I did want another lizard, but this one never really did it for me. Looks just a little bit awkward in his posing. But this Venom, this is a cool Venom. Look how gnarly that mouth looks. Because the paintwork is kind of rough, it actually makes it look more terrifying. But again, $40, that's a lot of money. That newspaper box accessory that comes with Scorpion is really cool, made of fabric so you can crush it. Oh, that's cool. Looks great in the city diorama. This Magneto, I love this alternate Magneto, this alternate costume he's wearing. This is wicked. I really, really dig that. I don't think it's from anything, just an alternate design, but I really, really love it. Similar, Archangel, he's got a classic comic book look, but the detail on this, I think it's lovely. They did a real nice job with that. So some of these older figures, they do hold up. Gambit, not so much though. Not too sure about those kind of haunting eyes. But I do like the unique costumes. It's a fun way of mixing things up. There's that same Storm. So this must be the one that you're talking about, the subline, so to speak. And then again, Wolverine. Different look, different costume. I don't want modern Marvel Legends doing alternate costumes, but it would be interesting to see them. But I wouldn't buy them. Similar to that Sue Storm. Whew. She's not too much either. She's worth about $11 here. So that face don't sell. But this, look at again, dude. Second verse, same as the first. That Cyclops costume looking real cool. I dig it. But of course, Cyclops in anything but yellow and blue isn't quite right. The X-Man is nice, but he's so small. But bizarrely tiny Nate Gray. Now this Vault line, I was really excited when I saw, because they have a Stegron in this line who looks so cool, but unfortunately he's not he's not on these shelves. And this Jean Grey, she was okay. Never been a fan of the Toy Biz early Hasbro figures, but they do have good diorama potential in some. That's true. So like some of their accessories are real nice. And then Wolverine with his cloth goods, or not cloth goods, but whatever that's made of. His pleather jacket, kind of like that. Kind of like that. And Rogue, is this Extreme X-Men? I think this design might have been taken from the Extreme X-Men comic. That I'm pretty sure that's where I recognize it from. And then Iceman with a woof, going back in time type design there. So not really anything that I'd be hoping to find. Nothing really exciting along here, but there's still a lot more to go through. So we can see some more modern Marvel Legends here. And this Captain America with the bike, actually really nicely put together. Dave, do any of these stores buy figures? I'm wondering if I should pawn off some unwanted figures. Absolutely, dude. That's where they get these figures from. They all of these are secondhand figures that people have sold to them. This Cable, I'm not a fan of the costume, but I love the Terminator face. I love it when his techno-organic virus kind of takes over his face, gives him the Terminator look. That's wicked. That's really, really cool. And then just got some more little MCU ones here. That Extreme X-Men Rogue used to be a grail when the only alternative was terrifying Jim Lee version. Man, for the longest time, that Spider-Man was in a very high demand, the Spider-Man 2 Spidey. Because besides Pizza Spider-Man, that was like the only classic-looking costume from Marvel Legends. Carnage. We got more than enough Carnages now, though. This was tempting. I have to say this was tempting. Thank goodness I had the Mezco, so I could walk away. But oof, I just remember how crazy expensive this Ghost Rider was back in the day when people were trying to build the Rhino, because you couldn't get the Rhino Build-A-Figure for love nor money, and that was one of the rarest missing pieces was Ghost Rider. So again, crazy to see him turn up here. And then Spider-Woman. I never had a complete Spider-Woman either. This Magneto, oof, they did some slightly better ones. I still don't think they've cracked it with Magneto, though. So I'm going to skip past some of the MCU ones because it's like, come on. But the Walgreens Human Torch still stands up as a gorgeous, gorgeous figure. Let's get some more old school retro ones now. Again, talking about Ghost Rider, just as a gorgeous package. Look at everything you got here. Wonderful sculpting and paintwork, an entire bike in the single blister shell pack. I mean, how bonkers is that? This guy was quite expensive, though. He was going for about $50. But still, Ghost Rider, bike, comic book. What a gorgeous display piece. Real nice. All of these are. They're so lovely. Whether you like the designs or not, they're still really great. X-Men 97 Magneto is probably the best in Marvel Legends right now. I'd be inclined to agree. I was tempted. To get this Toad to go in the Brotherhood because I prefer this old, gnarlier looking Toad as opposed to the really clean 20th anniversary one. But again, trying to make good decisions. But for $20, it's not crazy. And first Captain America too. That first wave from Marvel Legends set the tone, man. It really did. Got a little Iron Fist with the V Cup. We're finally getting an update of that, kind of. And then we got the Wasp as well, which, oof, that face. No, we're gonna pass on that. I think the 2-pack Wasp is clearly the superior one, as is the new Angel. This one was fine for the time. I like the blue wash on the white. That made it look a little bit more alive. I kind of dug that. All right, come on, Dave. We got a second line here. We got the silvery Moon Knight. And again, he looks decent. I like that, how that breaks up the white. It's not all just white all over. Now, what's this next one? Get out here. Oh, the other Black Widow. Still not a great look. Not a great look. But this next one, is this Apocalypse? Yes, I always loved this. Look at this thick, chunky guy here. So cool. Hefty, heavy, real badass looking. I love that. Really do. The thing is, okay, he's not really posed in a good way, but I think you could make him look decent, certainly. Still, nothing that's really tempting me. A repaint of Iron Fist, giving him the red one, that's fine. That's fine. A little Wonder Man. We saw the Ionic one before. That was cool. That Ghost Rider from Toy Biz still holds up. There's no outdated articulation on him. Marvel Legends didn't have a standard articulation scheme until late in the line. Interesting. No wonder he still looks good. And that Chase Widow was a grail back in the day. And then a Super Silver, what am I saying? Super Silver Moon Knight. That was it. And then Freddy Krueger, Weapon X at the back there. Diesel. I would have caved and got that Apocalypse. Dude, if I didn't have the Select Apocalypse, I would have. Then we got all the 2-packs, and I was covering these 2-packs just the other day on the 2007 or 2008 countdown. Got the Skrull Elektra there. Woof! That's what happens when the disco lights turn on at the end of the night. And then, of course, we've got the original combination there with Elektra and, oh, yeah, Wolverine and Forge. My goodness, those Wolverine faces. I mean, they're a little bit horrifying, but you still appreciate the effort that they put into the sculpting. That thing looks like one of those 50s Clash of the Titans monsters in bad CGI or bad stop motion. Yeah, I know what you mean now with that reference. Okay, there's still, amazingly, there's still more to go through. That's why I love Mandarake. They're just non-stop. We're going out of X-Men a little bit here, though. We're going out of Marvel Legends. We got some old Hellboy figures. That monster's amazing, though. Just for a monster display, that thing was terrific. Was that NECA that made those? I didn't check at the time. I can't see what's on the box, but those Hellboy figures are gorgeous. Yeah, I was never a huge Hellboy fan, but I appreciated the movie, and also this dude. He looked like such a badass character. I can't see any of the manufacturer names. I think it might have been NECA, but see, yeah, that costume with the actual trench coat and the hat, like imagine throwing him into a Hydra display. Oh my goodness, that would be pretty badass. But again, it's expensive enough just collecting Marvel figures, let alone extra figures that you can pair them with. That's going a little bit above and beyond. But yeah, Hellboy got some fantastic looking toys. I've got that Thing figure. Try as you might, it was impossible to bend his fingers into a fist. Come on. How are you supposed to clobber when you can't make a fist? But yeah, that action figure, oof, very, very cool. I was impressed with that. A little Abe Sapien action. Man, the character designs were amazing. Facts. And yeah, Wolverine from the first movie. Hellboy reminds me of how much I wish Del Toro would get an MCU film. If Del Toro could do an MCU film without any of the Marvel handcuffs, that would be something special. A mask figure from goodness only knows how long ago. It is kind of cool to see. But also, some classic Spawn. Look at that. Look at the size of that box. And that's just to contain his extending cape. Super fun. I mean, totally impractical to put in stores these days, but real fun to see. And again, what's really amazing is these boxes are mint, like just minty fresh. Like these have been just sat in a box in a warehouse untouched for 20 years. That's just incredible. Got some old, like, first run Spawn figures. Got like a chase of the original one there. The super skinny Violator. Got some of the McFarlane dragons. They came along much later, though. Those dragons, they didn't pop up until the 2000s or the mid 2000s. A little Mafex Robocop. Always tempted by those. Got one of the more modern Spawn figures too. Again, it amazes me how quickly some of these appear in Japan, because someone must have imported them personally, because stores just don't really do the imports. Wow, that old guy's cool. It's 500 yen too. Just a couple of bucks. Should have bought him. The old Mandarin Spawn, still one of my favorites. I'm really, again, tempted. I do love those Mandarin Spawns because they made a new one, but honestly, the new Mandarin Spawn, not as good as the old 90s ones. Yes, Aussie Dragon, of course, that's the Wakanda Forever Spawn. Yeah, I thought that was kind of sweet that they did that tribute. I like that. But yeah, 800 yen. So $4 for that old Gravedigger dude. Man, I was showing a lot of restraint there. Got some Pacific Rim figures. Again, like pretty modern figures that have somehow, by some way, shape, or means, found their way over here. And got a lady from what's this? Wetworks. I never read Wetworks in the 90s. Colt Kid, if Guillermo del Toro could do Spawn, holy potatoes. Holy potatoes indeed, man. That'd be amazing. Got the McFarlane Akira figure. Those Akira figures, especially, look at that. Tetsuo Kaneda. Such a great movie. Although these are full-on McFarlane posable statues. Not much in the way of articulation, but man, for a little Akira tribute shelf, that'd be very tempting. The Wonder Woman that no one saw. But this Dark Knight 2-pack, this I like. I used to own, I sold it back to Mandarake, but I used to own the Mafex Dark Knight, the battle damaged one, and he's terrific. The way they recreated the artwork in plastic form, really beautiful, really beautiful. Got some more modern DC ones as well. Again, that don't do too much for me. You know me, I'm a Marvel zombie through and through. But they got a lot of Green Lantern representation. A buddy of mine over here is a big Green Lantern fan. I'll have to tell him about that. The Christmas Batman, totally bizarre. A 90s Joker. Again, just the deep cuts. Batgirl from Batman and Robin. What are you doing here? And then the mega figure of Clayface. You know I'm not a McFarlane fan, but I love his monsters. And that is a pretty monstrous one right there. Mafex, please make a 90s Wonder Woman so we can have a DC Trinity. Maybe one day, I hope. I love how little Nikki is on the back of the Akira box. That is a time capsule, isn't it? These are super fun. The super deformed chibi Spider-Man and Green Goblin. Spidey is like okay, but I think the Green Goblin is really wicked. Look at this guy. I was honestly tempted. Just as a fun little anomaly, a little unusual thing to have in the collection. I really like it. But again, it's something that I don't need to be spending more money on. But I thought he was cute. I thought he was very cute. Oh, and now the big Fantastic Four. Look at this for a box set. Amazing. And a little X-Men 97 vibes here. Look at that. I look at this and boy, it takes me back to Birmingham NEC Comic-Con, seeing these guys for sale. And look, I know that each and every one of these figures has been redone multiple times better, but it's the box, it's the display that I love. Also, House of X as well. Look at the chunk and the chonk on these figures. The huge big thing. I love the orange paintwork on there. The Hulk in these kind of like outback sort of tribal designs, and the anime Japanese looking armor Iron Man. Gorgeous, gorgeous stuff. But really, it's the X-Men. The X-Men are tempting me. Well, you know what? They did tempt me because I thought, even though like the figures are kind of rough, I love the box. I love what it is, because I would love modern box sets like this with a poster book in the back with all these different posters. It's a wonderful set. It's a time capsule. And what I'm tempted to do is actually like open up the box real careful and see if I could swap out the old figures for modern ones. Because imagine that with Mafex Wolverine, Mezco Magneto, Mafex Gambit, Marvel Legends Beast. Yeah, that's a little project that could be so much fun to do. And for the cost of about $50, I think it's worth doing. In fact, I thought it was so worth doing that I decided to put my money down. And I picked him up, and ladies and gentlemen, we got him. We got him. So there's my chin as I'm paying for the X-Men box. And lo and behold, we have got full screen the 2000 and whatever it was X-Men Marvel Legends box set. And you know what? I'm happy with this purchase. I really, really am, because I put it out to the Facebook group. I posted this on the Model Behavior Facebook group, and I was like, lads, talk me down. If you want to talk me down, or convince me that this is worth getting. And honestly, it was about 99% of people saying, oh my goodness, holy potatoes, don't be a coward, buy that box set. So honestly, what was I supposed to do? Huh? What's a self-respecting action figure collector going to do other than walk out of Mandarake with a huge, big Marvel Legends box set? Which I think I can have so much fun with this. I might do a little unboxing review, retro style review. That could be a lot of fun. I really do. I can get my money's worth. I can get my money's worth out of this. But ultimately, what I do really want to do, as I said, is actually open this up and swap out these old figures for new ones and have this as a lovely looking display piece. Because just, picture it, if you will. In about a year's time, we'll have a Mafex Rogue with a cloth goods jacket as well. That's going to look gorgeous. So Mafex Rogue can go there. Then Marvel Legends Beast with his own cloth cape, that can go there. I sold my Mafex Magneto, but that's because I just prefer the Mezco. So Mezco Magneto can go there. Then maybe a little Mezco Wolverine as well. I can even have the unmasked head for accuracy. And then up at the top could only be Mafex Gambit.
Big time